Hi, this is Shalimar Steinberg, and today I will be talking about three more of our modify commands. We'll be covering rotate, mirror, and scale. So here I have an object that I've drawn, and if I look up at my objects, I want to go ahead and actually say that I've drawn this rectangle facing the wrong direction. I'd rather have the short side up and the long sides to the side. So I'm going to start out by using my rotate command. When I do that, I click on rotate, and then I select the objects that I want rotated. In this case, I am selecting the entire rectangle there. And then I can tell it no more by hitting enter. Then it asks me the base point. I have the option of picking one of the corners and having it rotated around that out this way. Or I could pick somewhere out here and have it rotate all the way around that, but all I want to do is rotate it in the same spot from the center of the object. So in order to pick that center, I'm going to go ahead and turn on geometric center. And when I hover over the object, it will then, or at least it should then, let me find the center. Of course it's not wanting to, so what I'm going to do is just come this way instead with my object snap tracking and click there. Now it says, how do you want to rotate it? And so I can either just drag it into the place that I want, or I can give it a specific reference. I'm going to say 90 degrees. And so it rotates it directly into that opposite position. I have the option of rotating it to any degree that I want to, and putting it in place. So it's a very useful command. And just so you can see what would happen if I chose to rotate it in a different way, for example, if I selected that same object and I picked the corner base point here, then it would rotate it around that corner instead of around its center. I'm going to undo that because that's not where I want it. And then I'll show you just what it would have looked like if I rotated it somewhere else out in space. So if I had picked, for example, this as my base point, then I would be rotating it around that base point to wherever I would like it to be. Alright, so that's the rotate command. Next we're going to look at the mirror command. And the mirror command is going to allow us to put our object reflected over a line. So it's great if you want to take an object and you have symmetry in it and just draw part of it and then reflect it over. So I can use the mirror command. I'm going to select the objects I want included, in this case the entire part of the drawing, and tell it no more objects. And then it's going to have me select the first point of a mirror line. And so what I'm selecting is the line that I want it mirrored over. So in this case, I want to go ahead and have it touching and just mirrored directly over here. So I'm going to pick this point and then a point down here. And you see I could pick a point anywhere that I want it to mirror over. Here I want it to mirror exactly this way. So I click there, and now it gives me the option of keeping my source object or erasing my source object. I want to have both versions, so I'm going to say no, I do not want to erase my source object. And so now I have what looks more like the front of a building with two windows, for example. But say I accidentally drew this object at 1 inch, and I wanted to scale it up by 12 because it was supposed to be drawn at a foot, for example, for a dollhouse or something like that. That's when I would use my scale command. And so I would go into scale, and this is going to allow me, similarly to the stretch, to make my object bigger. But unlike stretch, scale is going to do it proportionately. So I will give it a percentage, and it will scale the object up or down by the same percentage horizontally and vertically, so proportionately. So I'm going to select my whole drawing, and I will tell it no more objects by hitting enter. Then I can specify the base point that it's going to move out from. I'll just pick this corner here. And then I can give it the scale factor. And I said I wanted it to go up by 12 in order to be a foot. So I would go in and just type my 12 as the scale factor. And it has now created an object that is that same exact object, just scaled up by 12 this way and 12 this way, so that everything is in the foot range instead of in the inch range. Alright, so those are our three basic modify commands here, and we'll talk to you later.